Colbyjack.net is proud to present From the Flames by Trisha M. Wilson. The people of the fire, the Blesa, led by their queens, have ruled the island of Alfeyju and oppressed the Driva, the people of the ice, for more than 16 generations. With the Drivian King in hiding and little hope on the horizon, the Driva looked to one person to save them from the vile Blesa, the Diviana. According to legend, the divinely gifted Diviana will one day overthrow the Blesa and restore the Drivian King to his rightful throne. But with the search having lasted for more than 400 years, will the Diviana ever come to light? Willow is the slave of the Raskpil family. Bought at the age of 4, 20 years have passed since her life irrevocably changed. Her existence is no worse than any other slave, but within, Willow wonders if there isn't something more she should be doing with her life other than serving the ungrateful. Ordered to travel with her master's family to Sondertoft, so her master's adult children can take part in an ancient rite of passage, Willow is shocked when she learns that she too must participate. Will she fail, as all before her have? Will she rise to the challenge and become stronger after passing through the flames? Episode 32, Chapter 18, The Book of Ivy. Whenever Willow thought back on her experience of reading the Book of Ivy, all she could remember clearly was opening and closing the book. Everything else was fuzzy. Unless she was searching for a specific bit of information, then those specific details were clearer. Otherwise, the exact details eluded her. She could never articulate what exactly she read, how long the book was, or even how long it took her to read it. She only knew that what she read changed her in fundamental ways. How she looked at the world and her place in it altered in unmistakable, but also inexpressible ways. It wasn't so much the words she read which had this effect, rather the images and supreme knowledge accompanying the words which influenced and transformed her. Be it only a line or an entire page, every word created images which flowed through her mind, bestowing knowledge upon her which was unknown to any other living soul. She read, "The ice and fire were once brothers and sisters in arms." And she saw the two groups, the original inhabitants of Alfeyju, clasping hands and hearts, giving what they had to help the other. She saw the happiness of weddings attended by both peoples, and felt the overwhelming sorrow poured out by all when one of their brothers or sisters left this world for the next. She battled with the Blesa against common invaders and celebrated with them when they succeeded in defending their homes. She drank mead and told stories with the Driva, knowing deep inside that the two peoples would always stay side by side and never turn their backs on one another. She labored under the beating sun in the fields and sailed on the rolling seas, toiling away the days to provide nourishment for all, no matter their ancestry or allegiance. And then she came back from the crashing seas to the book and read, "But greed and mistrust fractured the bonds forged by blood and steel." And she watched as the king of Driva and the queen of Blesa yelled at one another, blaming the other for lost battles and unavoidable famines. She watched as first one side and then the other jailed the innocent because of their suspicious presences. Flying from the jails full of the sick and poor, the innocent, destitute, caught in political intrigues, she became one of the guilty, lying in wait by the roadside, prepared to attack anyone who wasn't of her kind. She stole and killed, all for the sake of money and self-indulgences, never caring about the long-term consequences of her actions. The only care within was for herself and her immediate companions. from the celebration of another conquest, another bloody purloining of the innocent, she fell back to her cave and read. But from this mistrust and broken promises, the two sorceresses of different lands devised their plan to save the island people from themselves and to give them a chance to be reborn. And Willow flew to a familiar, yet somehow different home, and listened to the sorceresses as they created the 5 sacred objects. She heard their murmurs as they cast their spells, protecting those powerful tools from all who were unworthy of possessing them. She labored with the craftsman who forged and hammered, never resting until his work was perfect for the sorceress's purpose. She hunched over the table in the candlelit room, bent over a book, this book, writing these words and infusing them with images to teach the one who would free the island from its own selfish acts. Images that would become forever branded upon the chosen one's mind to be called upon when needed. She journeyed to the ends of the island, to places known and unknown, familiar and unfamiliar, hiding the sacred objects until the time came when they would be freed from their slumber. These 5 objects were ready and willing to do whatever their mistress commanded, to live up to all the promises given to generations of people hoping for a new life without fear or oppression or bloody warfare. She finally joined the women and their looms, the ones who worked tirelessly to create the tapestries, each 2 of a kind, to guide and teach the one yet to come. Their detailed work became their pride and joy, and some of the greatest achievements ever made by women. From her candle-lit loom, Willow blinked her strained eyes to read. The protector of all has unmatched powers, and with these powers, the duty to eliminate every enemy that opposes her. And she saw herself, adorned in the sacred objects and holding the sacred staff, standing before legions of faceless men, slaying those who opposed her. When finished, not one person stood to fight her, to stop her from her goal. For monarchies will fall, and a new world shall be forged, one without oppression, where everyone has an equal say. From the battlefields, Willow fell into a humble building, not unlike the Hall of Justice in Sondertoff, refereeing a dispute between 2 villages. From there she fell into another building, a building much grander than the Hall of Justice. She stood in the large room, surrounded by 100 leaders, discussing the best way to move the island forward. All spoke freely, without fear of reprisals. All were equal, with none having more power or prestige than their fellow man or woman. And the one who can do all this, who frees the people and herself, shall guide the land to prosperity and tranquility for eternity. You have been listening to From the Flames by Trisha M. Wilson. Read, recorded, mastered, encoded, and produced by Colbyjack.net. This work is released under a Creative Commons 3.0 Attribution, Non-Commercial, Share-alike license. Do what you want with it, just don't try to profit from it. Heaven knows we can't. If you have any questions, comments, or rants you wish to share with us, we can be reached at Colbyjack at Colbyjack.net. That's COLBYTRAX @COLBYJACK.net. Yep, I sing it too. If you want to follow the exploits of Trisha in Twitterland, just search for Lady Trisha W on Twitter, or follow the ever-dashing, courageous, hardworking, intelligent, and immensely humble Colbyjack on the Twitters as well. If you find that you can't, just wait to find out what will happen with Willow, the strong dude and the annoying dude. Be heartened to know that From the Flames is available from Amazon, Barnes & Noble, and Smashwords, as well as from our little shop. Didn't you know about our little shop? Why, yes, we have a little shop located at shop. That's shop.Colbyjack.net. That's shop.Colbyjack.net. Yeah, real original there. There you will find the latest ebook versions of all our works in both Mobi and ebook, all DRM-free, as well as audiobook versions of such works as Firmware Hijacked and Proxy, as well, naturally, as well as From the Flames. The audiobooks differ from the podcasts in that the headers and bumpers only run once, and the episodes are grouped in hour-long episodes for easy burning to CD or for downloading on the go. If you find you don't need any stuff, but just want to thank us monetarily for our efforts here, just head on over to Colbyjack.net, select either audio or visual, and look for the donate button located on the blog roll. Well, anyway, thank you for listening. Have a wonderful week, and remember to be fabulous.